Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. I am your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me today is adult star, Miss Roxy Moth. Roxy, it's a pleasure and a privilege to have you on the show. How are you?
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I got to say, as someone who has seen a lot of great work in the adult entertainment industry and so many different genres, different subsets in the adult entertainment industry, you do a lot of great work. It's a pleasure from my end.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to hear.
You're very
Always
welcome.
happy when people are like vibing with what I do.
Of course. I mean, what's great about the adult entertainment industry, and whether it be whatever fetish, whatever preference that we all like, there's something for everybody, and you deliver that content from a content creator standpoint.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, I got to ask you first and foremost, when it comes to the adult entertainment industry, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of vibrancy, and there's a lot of entertainment, pun intended, when it comes to the adult entertainment industry. So I got to ask you, what really gravitated you towards said industry, and how'd you get involved in this crazy world that is the adult entertainment?
It was kind of always something that I wanted to do. I went to college. I spent 4.5 years overachieving all the way through college, and then my senior year, I realized I didn't actually want to do the thing I was getting a degree in. And I was like, I like sex. Maybe I can just do that forever. I actually shot my first professional porn scene the same day I graduated college. I drove from graduation to the shoot.
Wow. Okay. So you're overachieving, you have that intellect, you have the grade point average, you're graduating, and you're filming the same day as you graduate. You're just steering straight right into it. Boom. Right out of college. That is really saying something.
Yep, graduated magna cum laude and then did my makeup in a hotel lobby for this shoot.
Wow. Now, I'm going to say this about you first and foremost, even when it comes as well to the adult entertainment industry, whether it be in front of the camera, behind the camera, there's a lot of intellect that goes into it and really knows how to get said image and how to get said shot for such entertainment films.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I also look at it from a stance for you. I mean,
I
you
wish
get, I'm sorry.
I wish I got to use my degree more, but
I mean, hey, I
no,
mean,
I'm my degree is idea. So sometimes I had a career like using my degree full time, but I'm basically using it full time anyway.
true. And I mean, in all aspects and all facets of life, we use our degrees, we use what we've learned and what our knowledge is. Really, as they say, knowledge is power. So, I mean, we can use it from the sexual side of things, from the physical and mental side of things. So, at the end of the day, it's a nice balance for life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I will also say this about you because, first and foremost, when it comes to everything, when it comes to the adult entertainment industry, when it comes to so many films where we have POV, we have so many different kind of films that really go into it. Now, for you making said films, what really kind of really orchestrated, excuse me, how you're in front of the camera, you're behind the camera. That's really multifaceted. For you, that's got to be awesome because, again, you're in front of the camera, behind the camera, showcases your overall talents.
Yeah, directing is kind of new for me. I just finished up producing my first like actual movie, like feature movie. So I'm really excited for that to come out. But I've been self-producing for years and years now at this point, and kind of built my most of my career off of that. So
Absolutely. And I look at it from a stance too as well. There's a lot of work that really goes into it. And I got to ask you first and foremost, when it comes to adult movies and everything that we have with many vids with OnlyFans, really gets to open up the camaraderie with the fans of the adult entertainment industry, but also still provides that sex appeal. So, I mean, that's great to see from the social media aspect. We have so many sites coming out there more that's really adult oriented and friendly for a lot of fans.
yeah, yeah. I'm on many different sites. I find the best way to kind of get my content out there is to just put it on as many sites as I can get it on, and you know try and make sure it finds its way to the people that are gonna fuck with it.
Oh, of course. And looking from a stance again as well, like you're just saying, plain and simple, you know what? When it comes to work, like some people don't want to just do the, typical 9 to 5. We want to explore, we want to expand our horizons, so to speak. And like you so eloquently said it, you like to have sex. And at the same time, as the old cliche goes, sex sells. So, I mean, there's something for everybody. And I think with you, again, with your work, which we'll touch more upon here in this forum, it showcases and it really showcases your lane, which way you wanted to go. So, I mean, hey, again, more power to you and hats off to you because, again, some people don't want to just live that 9 to 5 basic reality. Let's explore and have some more fun, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like I said, I got my degree, and it took me until the last like 6 months I was in college to realize that I hated the thing I was studying. So decided to just kind of do my own thing for a while, and it ended up turning into a full-time job, and now here I am, and I get to wake up every day and do something I absolutely love.
And I got to say as well, first and foremost, when it comes to whether it be trans or so many different categories, and I got to say, first and foremost, the trans category is so popular with people like yourself in it. How awesome is it to see yourself at the forefront of so many great films and great videos and really inspiring a lot of people to get into that genre and just get into the adult entertainment industry as a whole, because you have the power and ability to inspire a lot of people with your work.
I don't know, it's still kind of weird for me to think of myself as, kind of one of the premier trans performers. I've spent so long kind of working my way up the ranks, and it still all doesn't really feel real. Um, but I guess it is. That's what the fans seem to tell me, and what other industry people seem to tell me. So
I think like anything in life and anything, whether it be a career, a job, or profession, it's that professionalism as well. Again, just it's the accommodation and comfortability, and you make a lot of people feel comfortable. So once again, you got to pat yourself on the back because again, you're bringing them up when a lot of people in said line of work can bring people down. You're bringing them up.
I try to. I try to. It's part of why I launched my site. Was I just got sick of like other companies making porn that wasn't really the kind of stuff I was super passionate about making, and I wanted an outlet to shoot that kind of content. And I figured if no one else is going to shoot it, I'll shoot it myself.
I gotta say, checking out your work, and I'm gonna say this right now, Femtalk, I love it. It incorporates the BDSM and the femdom. I was taking a look at it before we got on and did these last couple of days. Great content, and also first and foremost, there's a plethora for everything. Like we were talking about, there's something for everybody. The BDSM world, the dominatrix type of world, the femdom. It's something that a lot of people don't realize how much, even though it's a niche, it's something that people are really into, and people love to have that fantasy fulfilled, so to speak.
Yeah, the bondage porn fans and the BDSM porn fans, like they know what they want, and I want to be able to deliver something that they can enjoy watching. And so I try my best to make that content really shine and pop.
And that's the thing where it has to pop because, like we were talking about, like some people can have like whether it be for fetishes, whether it be feet films or what have you. Again, reiterating there's something for everybody, but it's just like dominatrix and that type of BDSM, that foreplay really does spice up not just sex in the bedroom, but it spices up a lot of things really for people to explore too. And I think that's absolutely awesome because again, it's something for everyone and it's something that's just like boom, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people really do enjoy that.
Yeah, I was actually involved in the kink community as a lifestyle even before I got into porn. So I have I feel like in some ways I'm sort of able to fill that niche when other performers may not have the same experience with it. So, and it's something that I'm really, really passionate about. And I hope that comes through in my videos. I hope other people can tell that like I'm really trying my best to make something special with this.
Well, first and foremost, literally and figuratively speaking, we do see the passion that does come through within your videos. And so I'm glad that you brought that up because, again, every time when we see a video where we see a film, even dare I say we see the imagery, it's all smiles, it's all fun, and that really does showcase. So I'm glad that you brought that up because it does truly shine through.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have fun when I'm always happy when I get to shoot the femtop stuff. I can shoot vanilla stuff all day and it's fun, but it does get a little bit repetitive. Whereas with the femtop stuff, it feels like I get to do something different every single shoot.
I mean, don't get me wrong, and I will say this, like we're talking about repetitiveness. It's great to have that pornographic film, that said material, but when you just put it up there and you add some more with the femdom and stuff like that, everybody has to do something that's new because then you're still stuck in your like bubble or you're just stuck into what you're doing. You have to do it up and spice it up because if you do and you don't, then you're not evolving, right?
Yeah, I grew up in an area that didn't have a ton of people to shoot with. So when I moved to Vegas, I found myself shooting way more content than I had ever shot before in like rapid succession. And I fell into this rut of just like every time someone would come over to shoot, I'd be like, oh, let's just shoot on the couch. Let's just shoot on the bed, just go at it. And that's fine. That's great content. It does well for me. No one's going to complain about seeing two attractive people have sex, right? But I felt like I was, creatively stifled in some sense because I was just making the same kind of content over and over. And I wanted an outlet to make something that was a little more high production, a little more story driven, and a little more like kink focused and creative. So I started the femtop thing so I could, just make like all the crazy BDSM porn that I wanted.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I also look at it from a stance too, which first and foremost, Las Vegas, I got to bring this up. And besides it being the fight capital of the world, so much adult entertainment and traveling to get to that area, the traveling must have been great. And besides Las Vegas, besides being beautiful, the strip and everything, it's really encompassed in that adult entertainment genre. It also brings out a lot of fun times for a lot of great people and memories to create, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Atlanta, and Atlanta is not a trans porn city. There's like some cool gay porn studios and like some fetish stuff out there, but no one's shooting trans porn in Atlanta. I would get like one or two scenes, like paid scenes in a year. Because there was like Groovy would have one of their directors travel through or something.
Oh my goodness.
And so I got to a point where like I was basically never shooting at home, but I was flying across the country to LA or Vegas or wherever like every month. And it just didn't make sense to keep flying back and forth when I could just live there full time.
And I think you made the right decision. And I'm going to say this right now as someone who was in the South, in South Carolina. And first of all, Hotlanta, ATL, and you're doing your thing now with Vegas and the travel, and you made the right decision. Let me just stay here and boom, here we go. But in the Southern areas, and I will say this, sometimes they can be a little judgmental, if not almost always judgmental with the type of lifestyle and stuff. So you're moving to an area where it's more accepted. As me personally, I love everything that everybody does in all different sets of life. So I mean, you're going to a place where it's more accepted and you get to meet a lot of great people. So I mean, I think you made the right decision.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for all the friends that I've made through the industry and to work with. I've been so blessed to just to have the opportunity to work with so many great people, and it's been really nice.
And that's
I'm grateful for the opportunities.
Of course, and there's more opportunities to create and make. And I look at it from a stance with the adult entertainment industry. The awards are almost also when it comes to the AVN awards, when it comes to many different award shows. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And it's great to be, you're nominated, you're doing your thing on that side of things. And it's great to see your work shine through on that big stage. You get to look nice and you get to see your peers showcase for the content that they put out there. And a lot of people don't realize just how important and how spectacular everything that goes into the AVN awards.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad they're not doing the in-person AVN awards. I've only been to one like in-person AVN before COVID. And it was like when I first moved to Vegas. So at the time I wasn't a big enough name yet to get into like the actual porn side of it. They had me like on the cam girl red carpet because they have a separate red carpet for cam girls as opposed to the actual porn stars. And they had us like sit up in a loft far away from the stage, and I'd like to go back now and be able to experience it kind of in full. I'm really excited. This year I'm actually like nominated for several that I've never been nominated for, including Performer of the Year, well, Trans Performer of the Year.
Now, I will say this first and foremost, we're going to get into a lot of people that you work with because, again, we're going to talk about incredible scenes, but you're nominated for Trans Performer of the Year, a Performer of the Year nonetheless. Again, first of all, congratulations to you. I think that's awesome. And I truly, I hope you win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have a ton of shot at winning, but I'm gonna hype it up like I do because it's good for like Twitter engagement.
Of course, with social media, but I'm going to say right now,
Let, let, let me pretend I'm a rock star for a little bit, you know?
but at the end of the day, I'm going to say this right now. You have my vote, so I definitely hope you win. Everybody go out and vote for Roxxie here. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, I'm going to say this as well. First and foremost, when it comes to the adult entertainment industry, one of the things I love as well is, again, we were talking about variety and we talked about the trans side of things. For you, again, loving everybody for who they are, the individuals. What's great about it, too, is a lot of people don't give a lot of love as they should to the trans community and the trans performers because I'm going to say right now, great content, but also at the same time, again, something for everybody. And you guys are doing your thing. It's great to see how popular in the commodities you all are.
Yeah, I feel like in some sense, even in the industry, like trans porn, you can kind of get isolated. Like we have our own little bubble. There's only so many companies that shoot trans porn, only so many performers that work with trans models. And so it's easy to kind of like feel a little bit isolated. But I've been fortunate that, I've been a lot of performers' first time shooting with a trans person, or I get to work with a lot of performers that I feel like a lot of other trans performers, haven't really shot much with. So, um, I've been the first trans performer on like a couple of sites. I was recently the first trans performer on nerdsofporn.com. And so I get to kind of branch out, and that's been really nice. I had kind of an atypical ride through the industry, I think.
I mean, everything kind of coincides, which is cool. Like you were talking about the cam modeling side of things. With the modeling side of things, I'm going to say this right now. I've seen some of your images. You don't take a bad photo. You're looking good. You're doing your thing. So keep it up on the image side of things because you do have that. And I got to give you much respect. But god dang, man, one singular photo, the modeling, the cam modeling, then boom, you're into the industry. It's all little steps and it's all little progress, but it works and it shows, Case in your work and just in everybody's work. The modeling side is very, very important.
Yeah, when I don't really cam as much anymore because I'm shooting so often now that I just don't have the energy to do both, and I don't have enough hours in the day to like run femtop and also cam regularly. But when I first started into the industry, I was camming constantly. I was camming like 4 or 5 nights a week, pretty much every week. Like just trying to really build my name and build up a following, and made good money doing it too. So shout out to the cam viewers. You guys are the reason I get to do what I love. So thank you so much.
Hey, I mean, that's the amazing thing, the support and the camaraderie and everything that you get from your peers and the fans. Like you were talking about social media and social media engagement. Isn't it crazy to see? Like I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. Towards the mid 2000s, we had the MySpace, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all over the place now, especially with TikTok. So I got to say to you, isn't it amazing? Because there is good and bad in it, but social media has really become a great platform for people to promote the side of things and really provide a great message for people in their content.
Yeah, it's really nice that I feel like I get to be kind of myself for my fans. I don't have to worry too much about like creating this whole image, but it does kind of get exhausting too because as a performer I have to be plugged in on social media basically 24/7, interacting with people and making sure I'm promoting stuff and tweeting stuff out. And I'm kind of a little bit behind the times. I still haven't figured out like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but Twitter is my go-to.
First and foremost, do not apologize for being technologically challenged or trying to figure out from the old school. I'm the same way. Like I love doing stuff from the promotion side of things, but at the same time, it's like, all right, I'll just use my phone to like call people instead of text. You know what I'm saying? With TikTok and everything. It's everything combined that really it can be very frustrating because there's like a new social media website developing like almost every day right at your fingertips. So it can get exhausting from that point. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I just started learning Instagram, and now everyone's like, you need to make a TikTok. All the performers are like going viral on TikTok. I'm like, what's a TikTok?
Oh my goodness. Now, I'm going to say this right now. As a music fan, one of the big things that's out there right now on TikTok is everybody's using the classic Earth, Wind, and Fire song, Let's Groove. And it's turning into this whole dance thing where everybody's dancing for like 20 seconds because some girl was dancing it in like a very funny way. And then they just added their own like hips and gyrations to it. And I'm like, this is what's big on TikTok. Let's groove. You know what I'm saying? Just like the littlest things can just blow up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm TikTok still kind of scares me. I've made an account on there and I've never ever posted on it.
You see, it's interesting because everybody wants to add their filters and stuff to it and add like music or what have you. But I'm like, if you actually think about it, like back in the day, we had Vine from like the mid 2010s, so to speak, like 2013 ish. It's like that, but
Yeah.
different. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of it when we had Vine, now we have TikTok. Think of it like that.
I remember Vine. I lived through the Vine era. These little short video sites, TikTok, Vine, just YouTube but shorter.
Oh God, we had another one that was called Tout. Do you remember Tout?
No.
That was that was one of them that was like that too. Tout, Vine, TikTok, it's all pretty much the same thing. It's short videos, but it's another one called Tout. It lasted very short for a period of time. Vine was bigger than Tout at the time.
Yeah. That explains why I don't remember it. I barely remember Vine, but like I said, I'm kind of unplugged from technology outside of Twitter and I guess Instagram now.
But at the same time, it's not really a bad thing because at the end of the day, sense of normalcy, you know what I'm saying? Being kind of off the grid, if you will. Sometimes you just need like your phone, you need your space because that could be very overwhelming, like we were talking about. But at the end of the day, does it like really matter because you have your friends, your family, who you want to talk to? I mean, it's all really based upon the internet, right?
I know how to contact the people that are important to me, and I got to keep some level of work-life separation. As a performer, it's kind of easy to just be in performer mode 24/7, and everyone needs a chance to unplug and decompress. So
Absolutely. And I got to say, with you, when it comes to decompressing, I've seen a lot of your work. Now, I'm going to say, for example, one of your scenes that's really a great scene for everybody to check out. You did one where there was like his first trans experience was a very passionate film. You've done some work with Bella Bates. You've encompassed a lot different variety of your films. And I got to say, the passion level in that has really intensified. And it's a great watch for a lot of the fans.
one of my scenes with Bella actually got nominated for a Fleshbot Award. It didn't win, but it got nominated. I'm still gonna be proud of that.
And you should, because it's a great scene. And I think people like her and a lot of great people that really do showcase. She's another one that's very fun and bubbly. And I got to say, y'all really had the chemistry very well in that scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love working with her. I actually have a new scene with her coming out next month on Fun Top too. I shouldn't spoil that, but I guess it's already no secret that we shot together for Phone Top. I just haven't posted the scene yet.
I was about to say,
I got to do all kinds of fun stuff to her. I got to slap her around. It was good.
I was about to say, yeah, no spoilers for the people, but I think it's great just to see a lot of the films that you're doing with Bella and so many great films that you're really encompassed on the many vids. I think there's like very showery-esque. I mean, there's one that's incorporated with pee, and then there's one that's incorporated with stuff like that. I mean, it's a variety. I mean, we're talking about that. You could bring a variety and really encompass the role play into it, which is very, very cool to see.
Can I tell a story about pee content on ManyVids?
Please go ahead.
So ManyVids has this specific rule where you can shoot pee content, but no one can drink the pee, right? Mm-hmm. And so since I can't sell pee drinking scenes on ManyVids, I don't typically shoot them. So I kind of thought to myself one day, like, what's the nastiest thing I can do with pee that isn't technically drinking it? And so I shot a whole series of scenes of me peeing in people's buttholes. And I've peed in so many people's buttholes that there's an official compilation of me peeing in people's buttholes, and it's about to get a sequel.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to laugh, but that's really like weird. Like, because peeing in golden showers, it's a category. It's been around the testament of time when it comes to the adult entertainment industry. But peeing and making people drink pee, that's kind of like weird though, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still kind of like the same content, sort of, and it's like around the same realm, but you can't do that on ManyVids.
Yeah, ManyVids, especially recently, a lot of the clip sites have started adding new regulations on fetish content. MasterCard and Visa put out new terms and said basically like they won't process credit card transactions for sites that do certain fetishes. So like there's a lot of little restrictions. You can shoot bondage, but you can't shoot penetration while all four limbs are bound. They have to have at least one limb free to move. And like just random stuff like that where I've had scenes taken down because like they had flogging in them or someone was wearing a pup mask. I had one scene pulled off of Pornhub for containing bodily fluids. They didn't even specify which ones.
I'm sorry, just the guidelines are very, especially with social media and Pornhub, it's very interesting just to see what the guidelines are for a certain type of content. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seeing your vids on that
Yeah.
front, for me, I can say this right now, there's a lot of worse stuff that's out there. So the fact that you're getting taken down for that is kind of mind-boggling, you know?
Yeah, no, I had a scene that got taken down because the girl was wearing a leather dog mask, the girl I was shooting with. And we knew that wearing a mask was going to be an issue for the payment processors. So we specifically included a section at the end of the video where she takes the mask off and like breaks character and says, "Oh yeah, this was really fun and consensual. I'm a human being, not a dog." And they still took it down. They were like, "No, that's dog role play. That's bad. You can't do that." I was like, "She's not a dog. She's a person."
Oh my god. I'm sorry, and I again don't mean to laugh, but it's amazing just to see what the guidelines and what everything is that gets taken down. It's absolutely nuts. But at the same time, ugh. But what is great to see, and I'm going to say this right now, we were talking about the scene with peeing and just the shower and everything. What's also very cool, and I will say this, what I love about you is we talked about the variety, but god dang, man, everything from bondage, from everything. It's very multifaceted. It's very layered. Like for you, like what's some of the favorites that you get to film? Because again, the role play side of thing, the mask and everything encompassed with the bondage. But like, what's really some of the favorite ones that really stick out to you? Because again, there's a plethora of anything for entertainment. You know.
So the thing about me is like, I'm already into a lot of this stuff in my personal life. I've been around the BDSM community since I was like 19 and so I'm into most of what I shoot. I would say probably like at least 80% of what I shoot is stuff that I also do in my personal life. Especially like the flogging and the electricity stuff, the like animal role play stuff. Like that's all stuff that I actually do really enjoy and have done with my partners in my personal life. Um, so I'm always excited when I get to shoot that. Same with the pee stuff. I actually do enjoy peeing on people and being peed on.
Now, I will say this about you. That's also very cool. It's you, but it's like your character, like with the voltage up. Because I think that's what's great about people who are very sexual and really much like yourself into different things. It's you, but with the volume turned up. And when it comes to adult films, you have to have the storytelling, and you have to have the characters in there, and that really is layered within your films. And a lot of stuff that we see, you have to tell a damn good story, even in the sexual realm.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know people who have like a very different porn persona from how they are in their personal lives. And I'm glad I had the foresight to make my porn persona something that's at least relatively close to how I actually am. My on-camera persona is just me, but like more forward and pervy.
And again, that's not a bad thing. And I think what's cool about it too is it's the sex appeal, and it's also overall the appeal that you have. So everybody gets to incorporate the internal and external beauty, but it also shines through with your overall being and your work. So it's a nice balance for everybody. And I think that's what everybody needs to do. And I'm going to say this right now. Unfortunately, in this world, people do judge, and society talks about, frowns upon the adult entertainment industry. But people like you that are in it, it's a blessing to see such amazing, talented people. So that's where we give a kudos and a thumbs up to what we get to see from an adult content perspective.
Yeah, and there's definitely still a difference between the way I would have sex on camera versus the way I'd have sex in my personal life. There's certain positions that I love doing in my personal life that just don't film well, or like certain things that I can't film because they'll get me yelled at, or that I do on camera, but I don't do in my personal life. So there are differences. I always have to tailor what I'm doing to like making a good movie. But at the end of the day, like it's all stuff that I enjoy. And I also just enjoy being a performer. I enjoy getting to, be in front of a camera and make a product that I know other people are going to watch and enjoy watching.
I think in any art form, and I'm going to put it like this because it's what it is, what we're talking about, adult entertainment. It is an art form, much like anything is in this thing that we call life. What's really cool about it too is like we were talking about the storytelling part of it, but the entertainment and the performance. I mean, there's some people that are very happy, and like yourself, being in front of the camera, behind the camera, we got to entertain people. And at the end of the day, if you're evoking emotions, then you're doing your job very right.
Oh yeah, I'm just glad other people enjoy what I do as much as I enjoy, doing it. And I want to put on the best show I can for people. So.
I got to say, you're doing your job very well, and I think you've accomplished that, especially with being a nominee for the AVN Awards. And once more, congratulations. So here's to onward and upward, and the best for you in your future.
Oh yeah, I'm still kind of in shock about the AVN nominations this year. I've been nominated in a couple of the smaller categories in the past, but this is also my first year being nominated as a director, which is kind of cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, like from the directing side of things, you said you're very new to it, but at the same time, it's almost like a hand in glove because you could see in the overall perception in front of the camera, but behind the camera, you know how you want to develop and tell your story and tell the story for the characters that you have in said movie. So I mean, it's almost similar, but at the same time, you're still learning and adjusting, which is still cool, and you get to put out more content and direct and see from the visual lens how you want to make that said content.
Yeah, I mean, I've been shooting all my own stuff for many years at this point. So, pretty much everything I made when I was starting out was stuff that I filmed in my house, and so I know how to make a porno look good, and I know kind of what positions are going to look good and how to tell a good story. And it's been nice being able to kind of adapt that, but with more production value. I'm booking out sets or like, writing out scripts and having all these awesome, amazing performers involved. And the new movie that I'm working on now has original music even. So I'm super excited for all of the fun things that are coming as in the world of porn directing.
First and foremost, congratulations on the original music being filmed. I'm going to say music is also something that is very central. It's very calming and really does make a film when it comes to that sex scene and just in general. So a lot of people don't realize how much music is a big part of that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm a couple of my friends are very talented, like electronic music producers, and they're helping put together this soundtrack. And it's been a whole journey, like branching out. And I'm just so proud of this movie. I can't wait for the full release. Look for it in January. It's Transpires. It's a trans vampire movie. It features a perfect cast. Before I casted the movie, I made a list of like all the trans performers that I knew were going to be great fits for the movie, and I got all of them. I got every single performer I wanted on this movie, and the camera work is great. My crew for it has been awesome, and locations have been great. The sex is super hard, and the BSM elements are there, and it's just like I think it's the best thing I've made, and I'm so excited to put this out there.
I got to say, if you've not seen it, Roxxie on the social media front promoting this transpires. I'm going to say this right now. Transsexual vampires, vampires in general, we could take it back to the 80s. I'm going to make a pop culture reference. It's like the Lost Boys. It's like Count Dracula. Everything that we've seen in popular culture being turned into the adult entertainment industry. I mean, who doesn't like a sexy vampire, right?
Right. I love vampire porn. So if you go on like the like porn VOD sites like Hot Movies or Adult Empire or whatever, there's actually a section where you can search movies by character archetype. So you can have it show like only pizza guy or only vampire or whatever. And sometimes I just go on there and I like look at the monster characters and stuff.
Okay,
It's so cool all the creativity that comes out of it.
See, I like your style. I really do, and I can appreciate that because growing up with Naughty America and, like you said, the Pizza Guy, my Big Sausage Pizza, and my First Sex Teacher, and all these sites that we had before we had streaming, I can appreciate that. I mean, you have a nice taste when it comes to your search history. I like that. That's a nice little blend. I like your style.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it does. It shines through. And I also look at it from a stance too, like how amazing have we come from, like I mentioned, those said sites to what we have with streaming with X videos and there's RedTube, there's X Hamster. It's amazing to see how much streaming has really taken over our lives for the adult content.
Yeah, there's so many different ways that you can distribute porn and watch porn now. So it's kind of a, an arms race of like trying to keep up with every new platform that's coming out and all the new ways that you can sell content at this point. I have my clip stores and OnlyFans and other fan sites and then streaming sites and VOD sites. And there's so many different ways that I can put my content out.
Oh, absolutely. I look at it from a stance too, and I'll make another pop culture reference. When Bob Ross did The Joy of Painting back in the day, God rest his soul, within a 30-minute time span, we had a mountain, we had rivers, we had everything out the wazoo, right? What's really cool about the adult entertainment industry is, in any movie, we start off and then we get to that big middle point, the climax part, and then boom, we're here at the ending. One of the amazing things to see about that is painting the said canvas, really looking at it from a different person's perspective in the overall eye. So you're really putting paint to the canvas, and it shows on all different types of films and adult films. I know that may be a little bit of a weird analogy, but hey, man, you're painting that canvas, and boom, we have ourselves some great movies.
I think you're the first person to call me the Bob Ross of porn, but I will take it.
Hey, who doesn't love them some Bob Ross, man? I always use it because, again, as a kid growing up in the 90s, that was on it like right after school when I would get home, boom, put on channel 21 as a New Yorker. Y'all know what I'm talking about for those that are from Long Island, New York. But it was always there, and it was something that was so peaceful to watch. It's very therapeutic. It's meditation. He's painting. We have skies. You can really apply that really work ethic, so to speak, to anything. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is art. People just have to look at
Yeah.
the frame, you know?
Yeah, and I mean I want my porn to shine and I want to make stuff that's, that other people are gonna enjoy watching. So I try and make it look as good as I can.
Hey, I also come from the days of when Cinemax would have Nicole Sheridan and Willow at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning doing their videos, and you would see so much adult content with a lot of the same people in it. And it was pretty much, it was different based with the storylines. And mine again, early to mid 2000s, but still, we've come a long way from that. And it really is like you were talking about. It can be repetitive. It's like, okay, here's the same movie, here's the same premise. Give me something. You know what I'm saying? So it's great to see how much we've evolved in the industry.
Yeah, yeah, and I think too, kind of you already touched on this that like because of the internet and because there's so many avenues now for people to make and sell and distribute adult content, like there's just so many new performers coming up and so many new types of porn coming out, and it's been really cool to see. Even just in the few years that I've been in the industry, like I've seen so many amazing trans performers that are good friends of mine whose careers kind of took off behind mine, and they're all doing wonderful, amazing things now.
Of course. And I mean, I look at it from a stance too, like you're talking about the need and the love for sex. I mean, when we're teenagers, we go through puberty and we start off and we know what we like, but as we get older and we experience more, I think it's very cool. And I think a lot of people can learn from this. You really, really get to understand your sexual peak and your overall sexualness and explore your sexuality as you get older. And I think it's wonderful because I think a lot of people really need to do that and not be set, like we talked about, on one thing, but really explore the sexuality because it's beautiful at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I grew up watching the kind of porn I make now. I grew up watching like electric sluts on kink.com and stuff like that, device bondage and stuff like that. So I feel like I grew up already watching a lot of the kinkier, crazier porn, and so to get to make it now, and I've even been on some of the sites that I grew up watching. It's so cool.
Mean, it's humbling, man. It's a great humbling experience to see just you're on sites that you grew up with and now you're on. I mean, back in the day, I think the first ever adult site I remember seeing was girlshuntinggirls.com, which the premise was it's girls in a van, they pick up a girl, and there's like one-on-one scenes or threesome scenes. And again, that's good, but it's just like it's kind of plain, and it's kind of bland. But again, this is what we were working with in the early 2000s. So I mean, yeah, girls hunting girls and the bondage and the kinks, but you had the cooler ones. I'm gonna put it out right now with the kink and the more freaky side of things, which is cool. Then the kind of like the bland, like normal stuff that I would see. So I got to give you credit and props because now I got to go back and look at some amazing scenes.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want any recommendations, hit me up. I can point you to some great classic porn scenes from the 2000s.
I will have to take you up on that, and I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, that's the amazing thing. I mean, we go from porn parodies like Spider Babe and everything that we see now. Like the porn parodies are the thing to go now. And I mean, I remember, god dang man, there was one with the Tranny Bunch, which was the transgender film. Like we were talking about transgender films. There was one for the Brady Bunch, and now we have the vampire side of things. So again, one end of the spectrum to another. But it's great to see those kind of porn parodies and everything kind of mesh together for the overall community.
One of the first scenes that I did, the very first time I traveled to the West Coast to shoot, one of the scenes I shot while I was there was for the company Paranormal Birds, and it was a Creature from the Black Lagoon porno, and I got to play the Creature from the Black Lagoon. So they just like covered me in like fish scale makeup and had me like fucking in a lake, and it was just so crazy. It was so fun. That's still like one of my favorite scenes that I've done.
But you see, that's out of the box, and that's cool. Like it's freaky, but it's out of the box, and it's cool. Like again, the Brady Bunch is like I was talking about the Trainee Bunch. It's very Brady Bunch-esque, like the Carol Brady, the what have you, and it's cool. But then, like you're fucking in a lake, you know what I'm saying? To put it bluntly, you're having sex in a lake. You get that makeup. It's very cool. You're playing this creature. You're adapting to that character, so it really does shine through. And I think that's awesome, and especially Creature from the Black Lagoon. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and I love what Paranormal Perversions is doing. I would love to shoot for them again at some point. They just make such great stuff, and they're great people, and they're more creative than me. I wish I was that creative.
I mean, I will say this about you and your creativity. That goes a long way with directing and stuff. And you were talking about putting out your scripts and really kind of going to the T with what you want. I mean, you got the creative juices flowing. I could see it as we're talking now, and I could see it through social media. So I got to say, you got a little stuff up in here doing your thing from the creative juices standpoint. I think it's going to continue to shine. I got to put over them creative juices, Miss Roxxie.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But
Appreciate
you're welcome. No, you're very welcome. It's very true, and I think a lot of people have it from the creative side of things. If we have it and we get to explore it and really showcase our creative side, that's what makes it wonderful, man. That's what makes us overall beings wonderful, and it shows and it shines through our work and whatever endeavor we pursue.
Oh yeah.
So I got to say, first and foremost, when it comes to endeavors and everything that we want to pursue, I know you're going to be pursuing that award, man, the AVN award. Everybody go out of your way, send Roxy a little vote ski, get her in there, have her get that award. You're nominated. You're going for it, man, Performer of the Year, and you are performing your own right. So I will say this. We got a couple final questions here, but god dang, man, it was great to really like go through your brain, really just pick your brain and see what we have from the adult entertainment industry and everything that you like and your preferences. We're definitely going to do a round two of this. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to have been here.
You're very welcome. And I look at it from a stance too as well. Like we were talking about creative juices and scenes for you. Being nominated for Performer of the Year, AVNs, everything in your work encompass, whether it be ManyVids, OnlyFans, so many different sites and camaraderie. You're really putting yourself out there. So I got to ask you, when it comes to the adult entertainment industry, in front of the camera, behind the camera, what advice would you give to those who want to get into said industry and see what you've done so far in your career? What advice do you have for those people that want to get into the adult entertainment world?
The first piece of advice that I give is that I never really felt like there was a point when I got into porn. It was always, just slowly climbing and grinding out the content and building up my following. And then one day you wake up and you're a porn star, but it's not like an overnight thing. You just wake up and you're a porn star, So you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to not half-ass stuff, and take the opportunities that are presented to you, and self-produce your content when you need to, and you know and reputation goes a long way. If you're pleasant to work with, you're going to get a lot more people reaching out to you.
Beautifully said and eloquently said, especially with yourself being very pleasant is very key. Pleasant and professional. We'll use the two P's there. Pleasant and professional goes a long way with people's work in any job and profession that they do. And it does showcase within your work, Miss Roxxie, to reiterate that point. So I will say this, please promote the social media. We got Twitter, we got Instagram, you got ManyVids, you got OnlyFans, you're all over the place, man. There's a lot of links to encompass, and they will be in the description below this show. Please go ahead and promote the links, Roxxie.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Roxxie Moth. That's Roxxie with 2 X's and an IE. That is also my name on Instagram, on OnlyFans, on all the social media platforms. I try to use the one name. Also follow Femtop at FemtopXXX on Twitter. Check out the site. Join it if you're feeling a little bit spicy. And just thank you all so much for supporting me in what I do. And it's been a real honor.
Hey, I got to say this. You're doing your fans proud, and you're doing yourself proud. I look forward once more to see what the future holds for you, and I can't wait to see, again, AVN Award, everything you're doing, everything will work itself out. It's going to be a joy and a pleasure and a privilege to see what 2022 holds for Roxxie Moth, which, by the way, I'm going to say this right now, love the name, the Roxxie Moth name. Adds a little badassery to it. I dig the name.
It would sound a lot less badass if you knew the origin behind it, that it was my gamer tag back when I was MLG Pro. And I just went by the gamer tag Moth, and eventually that bled over into my kink life. And then when I started into porn, it bled over into porn. And so I just was like, I'm just going to be Moth.
See, that's not a bad thing, though, and that is very cool because you got the gamer tag. Again, multifaceted. You like to play games. Who doesn't like to be a gamer and stream and just play games online? A lot of us do it. Very popular, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, two worlds of what you like coincide once more.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, with the gamer side of things, and I'm going to ask you, too, because I got to get the gamer side of things. What kind of games you into, man, as far as the gamer side of things go?
I don't play as many games as I used to. Look, I'm turning 26 in a week, and in nerd years, that's like 60, 70 years old. So, I don't have the time and the expendable income to follow every new game that comes out. I was a Nintendo kid. I grew up, N64, Game Boy, and GameCube. So I mostly just play Nintendo games, and I'll buy whatever the new game from the my childhood franchises. The new Kirby, the new Pokemon. I played Smash Brothers competitively for a little while, and that was always my go-to.
First and foremost, you got great taste with your Smash Brothers and your Nintendo. I like your style there as well. But yeah, I'm going to put this out there in nerd years. As a fellow nerd, Miss Roxxie Moth, I'm going to say this right now. Don't make me feel old because I'm 29. I'm going to be 30 next year, folks. So you're talking about 26. You stop that right now, ma'am. But no, I mean, I look at it from a stance. I'm the same way. I grew up with the Nintendo 64, the PS1, then the PS2, and then we've had 3, 4, 5. The whole shebang there. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's what we like from the retro nostalgia side of things. And then we just, boom, blossom into more stuff. And there's nothing wrong with some nostalgia.
Yeah. I'll eat up whatever the new game is in like Pokemon or Kirby or Smash Bros. And I play some other stuff too. I'll play some like indie stuff on PC, and I do try to branch out, but I honestly just don't have the time to like keep up with every new game. I feel so old and disconnected.
Hey, don't even feel bad about that because a lot of us do that with our jobs and our careers and what we get involved to. So don't feel bad. I'm sure a lot of people echo those sentiments that we're talking about, that we don't have the time. So don't even feel bad. You're on the grind, man.
Yeah, thank you. I've been on the grind. I've shot 11 out of the last 12 days, and I have another shoot in the morning.
All right, if that doesn't say work ethic and just dedication and passion, I don't know what does. Again, love, respect, and everything on that front. I don't even know what else to say to that because that is beautifully said and eloquently said, and it shines through in your personality and your work. So, my final words before we close this doggone thing out: beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. Roxxie, Moth, I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time. It's really been a blast talking to you tonight.
Thank you so much. I've been happy to be here.
So for Roxxie Moth, my name is Michael Larkin. Definitely check out this edition of On the Mic with Mike on SteveandMikeShow.com, my YouTube channel. Hell, man, I've interviewed people from wrestling, music, the adult entertainment industry, and all facets of life. I love what I do, and I love giving people like Roxxie Moth the platform to tell their story and what a story it is. So for Roxxie Moth, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you guys for listening. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Good night, everybody.